My lovely people, a pleasant evening to everybody. As I'm here, sort of basking and meditating on the Prime Minister's victory speech, I want to highlight this reality. I was looking at Singapore to see where it is coming from Lou, by me and the names of these people, but the man that he had reigned for 31 years, as I think it would be president they have. I don't think it's a prime minister like our type of governance. But whichever way, same leader of the country. And I was looking at the salaries. I'm big on that because that is a big driving force as to how people's lives will be. Because if what I'm saying is not so, when the two sides in terms of GLP and PNP took the increase, they would not have taken it because it would just be ordinary. It would not be anything great, when they got 100%, 200%, and so on increase. And I was looking at the entry level of a graduate, somebody who leaves school, just leave tertiary level, university, that their salary is 2,700 thereabout, entry level. So you just start. And when you calculate how much that is, that's about 300 and up to about 400 and $1,000 because there was a range. I know that it said, I think, from about 2,007 to 3,000 and something. So there was a range. So when you work it out, it would be, so you just start, you're earning the equivalent of about 400 and something $1,000 for the entry level. And for above, it didn't go all the way into like top, senior management, but like a figure of, 3,000 something to 4,000, whatever it is. And when you calculate the highest or the higher of the two, based on what they had posited, it worked out to a little over 700,000. So 600 and something to about $700,000 a range. And it wasn't giving like the top tier people. And with that reality, my dear Prime Minister elect Andrew Holness, is that the salaries need to be now focused on more this new election era, this new era of your reign. Because for me, the first year kind of seemed to have focused on improving your salary. When I say yours, a plural I'm talking, because I know you didn't take the salary increase. And the other, from both sides, increase, a lot of professionals had gotten increase and so on. And I mean, we saw a lot of that alongside, the building up of things and, the infrastructure and so on. And in the second term, we saw a lot of building again and roads being fixed, water in pipes, and all of these things coming on. So everything for me was done on a macro level. On a macro level. Now we want it on the micro level, the individual level. The small man needs to feel it because that will be the strong what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's moving too fast. The strong factor, let me say that. The strong factor in you succeeding, just like the Lou, whatever his name is, who reigned for 30 odd years, was that it was a full prosperity. Remember, if you look at the original of the meaning prosper, it means that you prosper financially, socially, physically. And it says, above all, I wish that you prosper even as your soul prospers. So it says, so this is how you're prospering now. So you prosper and your soul prospers. You prosper financially, physically, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, socially. I can't even think of anything else right now. Educationally, you're just prospering, and that is what he did. Because I said, let me look at what the salaries are. Yes, so yes, the roads are immaculate, schools are immaculate, hospitals, and in terms of their security system, immaculate. But let me see what the salaries, the entry level people are earning, what some people for many years are earning at this present day. Now, I couldn't expect that things would turn into Singapore overnight in the 5 years that you will have. And if you come in again, you know what I mean? I would not expect something like that. But what I would love to see is a change in the salaries of some of the people at the some low tier. And the reason why I say low tier, because there are a lot of people who are underemployed. So it's a man who should be, or man or woman who should be in management, and but they're below that because that was the only job available. And sometimes, depending on where they're working, you may have a one-man band in some management position. So unless that person dies or leaves, there's no scope for growth, there's no scope for development, there's no scope for promotion in certain public sector areas, especially civil service. And it becomes quite problematic for quite a number of people. So you have very low morale. People are very despondent. There is no oomph to them working hard and smart. They just operate very willy-nilly, mediocre. I don't support that. I believe you must always give of your best. But the human is a human, which you had mentioned. Human is a human. They have human feelings. And it's almost like, can you imagine, you're a baby and you know you're given a Gerber, the milk to drink, and you survive on that and you live. But as you become adult, if you ever dare drink milk and Gerber, gas kill you. Gas, I saw you and gas down the in the boxing rink, a fight. Gas and you and gas go out, go win you. You probably don't even make it to round 2. You and gas with a gas. So the how God has made us is that you have to grow mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, psychologically, emotionally. You have to grow. You must grow. So when people are in the same positions for so long, and it's not that they don't try to get anywhere else, it is not so, I mean, you don't have widespread of jobs where people can just go quickly and say, oh, I see a better position here where I can earn $600,000 monthly. Let me jump for it. What we see offered is a joke. So what they're getting now is better than what is out there. So a lot of restructuring and reclassification, that was the word I was trying to remember in the first post, should happen. Even if they have to take on more tasks, to become experts, that is fine. But we need to eliminate this underemployment. Too many people are underemployed, including me. Too many of us are underemployed. Our salary should be, I agree with that politician, at least $500,000 per month for the ones who have their their masters, for the ones who have even a bachelor that is very what's the word I'm looking for, that is commensurate to the growth and the development of the particular organization, though you can't even use that because sometimes people may have a vastly different degree and they become like the top expert in another area in an organization. But once you have, especially if you go on to masters, because I call masters a precursor to the PhD, it's like the precursor to it. So many jobs, you need to go and look at some of these people's resume, look back at what they do, look at their earning and say, no man, this particular individual or these set of people's here working here, how comes they're in this lower level and they have their masters or they have their PhD or they have this and they have that, and this is what they're doing. Let me look at the organization. Or there's no scope, let us see how we can widen it, how more jobs can be created, quantum jobs that will aid in the growth and the development of people. These are the things that will attract bright minds, newer minds, quantum thinking minds, and help many of us, and it will take people definitely from poverty to prosperity. The salaries need to be looked at in this particular juncture and season of your reign and tenure. The salaries, the salaries, the salaries, the salaries, the salaries, the salaries, the salaries. I can't stress it enough. We need to see a big jump like what those politicians saw. We need to see it, even if we have to work more, not a problem, of course. You can't just get a big jump. Like if you're earning 300, you suddenly get 600, you just sit down so, the same old. No. We work. But you have your reward, sweeten labor. The morale needs to be boosted. So, sir, to me, that should be a primary focus throughout the tenure, this season. Salaries. For me and for them. Guys, you know what to do, raise TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe, give me one of those likes.